welcome you all for the second part of the fifth unit, Fundamentals of Communication. The second topic is Principle of Frequency Modulation. Let us take a look what are the concepts, properties and methods are there in the frequency modulation technique. Basically, frequency modulation technique dealing the signals. The signal have to transfer one location to another location. That is the main motto. In meantime, the transmitted side and receiver side, there is a standard modulation technique we need. By the way, we are having amplitude modulation. We have seen amplitude modulation in the previous part, but in the amplitude modulation there are many errors are there, some limitations are there. To overcoming that limitation, another one modulation technique evolved. That technique named as frequency modulation. Okay, frequency modulation. Frequency modulation, it uses the information signal and the carrier signal. Similar to the amplitude modulation, here also we are dealing two signal. One is carrier signal, another one is message signal. That is called information signal. Okay, that is named V suffix M. M representing the message signal, C representing the carrier signal. Here the standard formula is there for frequency modulation. In general, we used to call this modulation technique FM. Many FMs we are using in mobile phones, and FM receivers are there this technique are utilized. Okay, let us take a look for the formula for the FM signal. V suffix M of T. V nothing but voltage or amplitude. Already we have seen in the previous session. V suffix CO into sine of 2P of F suffix C plus DF divided by VMO into Vm of T plus F. This is the formula which is used to modulate the signal. This formula utilized means that is called FM signal. We have replaced the carrier frequency term with the time varying frequency. We have also introduced a new term, that is DF. What is DF? Peak frequency deviation. When the frequency is deviating, at that point it is transformation happened. Okay, we should able to see that carrier frequency term F suffix C plus DF divided by VMO of Vm of T. Now varies between the extremes of F suffix C minus DF. That carrier frequency term Fc plus Df divided by V suffix Mo Vm of T. Now varies between the extremes of Fc minus Df and Fc plus Df. The interpretation of Df becomes clear. It is the farthest away from the original frequency that the FM signal can be. Sometimes it is referred as a swing in frequency. Swing nothing but the variation. Ups and down will come. That is called swing. Okay. Here we can also define the index for FM analogous to AM. So this technique B nothing but DF divided by FM. FM is the frequency modulation signal here introduced. Maximum modulating frequency is used. The simplest interpretation of modulation index B is as a measure of frequency, peak frequency. Deviation of DF, in other words, B represents a way to express the peak deviation frequency as a multiple of maximum modulating frequency, FM. DF equal to B into FM. For example, suppose in FM radio that the audio signal to be transmitted range 20 to 15,000 Hz. This is the range of the FM signal. The FM systems used maximum modulating index B of 5.0. The frequency would swing by maximum 5 into 15 kilohertz. that is 75 kilohertz above the carrier frequency. Here the FM signal. Let us take a look about FM signal. This is the spectrum of FM signal. Here we are using carrier is at 30 Hz. Already we know carrier frequency and another one is modulating frequency. Modulating frequency is 5 Hz. The modulation index is about 3, making the peak frequency deviation about 15 Hz. This is the standard value of FM signal. So this means the frequency will vary somewhere between 15 to 45 Hz. How fast the cycle is completed is a function of the modulating frequency. That's all about the FM signal. Now the FM spectrum, what are the parameters involved in the FM spectrum, that we will see right now. Look here, this is the FM spectrum. The spectrum represents a relative amounts of different frequency components in any signal. It's like the display of graphic equalizer in your stereo, which has LEDs showing a relative amounts of bass, mid-range and treble. They correspond directly the increasing frequencies. We are having the increasing the frequency. What will happen normally in mathematics? The well-known fact, the function of the signal can be decomposed into purely sinusoidal component with a few pathological exceptions. In technical terms, the sines and cosine form a complete set of functions, also known as a basis of infinite dimensional vector space, or real valued functions. Give that any signal can be thought to be made up of sinusoidal signals. The spectrum then they represent the recipe code of how to make the signal form from sinusoids, like one part of 50 Hz and second part is 200 Hz, that only representing this pure sine wave spectrum. The pure sinusoids have the simplest spectrum for all, now just one component. Okay, in this example here 8 Hz, and so the spectrum has a single component with a value of 1.0 at 8 Hz. Okay. This is the example spectrum. In this spectrum, the carrier is now 65 Hz. The modulating signal is pure 5 Hz tone, and the modulation index is 2. What we see are multiple side bands separated by the modulating frequency 5 Hz. There are roughly 3 side bands on either side of the carrier. The shape of the spectrum may be explained using a simple heterodyne argument. Now, when you mix the 3 frequencies, number 1 FC, FM and DF. Here FM only having the DF. Together you get sum and difference frequencies. The largest combination of FC plus FM plus DF. The smallest combination is FC minus FM minus DF. The DF equal to B into FM. The frequency varies from B plus 1 FM, above and below the carrier. So, 2 ranges have been segregated. Next, we will see the more realistic example of frequency modulation. Okay, in this example, we are having the information signal between 1 to 1 and 11 Hz. The carrier is 65 Hz and the modulation index is 2. The individual sideband spikes are replaced by a more or less continuous spectrum. However, the extent of the sidebands is limited to B plus 1 FM, above and below. Here, that would be 33 Hz above and below, making the bandwidth about 66 Hz. We see the sidebands extend from 35 to 90 Hz. So, out observed bandwidth is 65 Hz. You may have wondered why we ignored the smooth humps at the extreme ends of the spectrum. The truth is that in fact by product of frequency modulation there is no random noise in this example. However, they may be safely ignored because they have only minute fraction of total power. In practice, random noise would obscure them anyway. This is the technique which is used in frequency modulation. That's all about the principle which is involved in the frequency modulation, that is called FM. Next, let's take a look about with an example, FM radio. Normally we are using FM radio, everybody aware about FM radio. FM radio uses the frequency modulation, of course. The frequency band of the FM radio is 88 to 108 megahertz. These ranges have been standardized by international IEEE, International Standardizing Unit Forum. They are standardizing the frequency ranges. So 88 to 108 megahertz. This is the general range of the FM radio. The information signal is a music and voice which falls in audio spectrum. The full audio spectrum ranges from 20 to 20,000 hertz. Already we know that human audible range. But FM radio limits the upper modulating frequency 15 kilohertz. In AM 5 kilohertz. Although some of the signal may be lost above 15 kilohertz, most people cannot hear it anyway. So there is a little loss of fidelity. FM radio may be approximately referred to a high fidelity. High fidelity nothing but the range. The in FM transistor use the maximum modulation index of 5.0. So the resulting bandwidth is 180 kilohertz, roughly 0.2 megahertz. The FCC assigns 0.2 megahertz apart to prevent overlapping signal coincidence. Okay. If you were to fill up the FM band with stations, you can get 108 to 88 divided by 0.2 equal to 100 stations at a time we can able to allocate. About the same number of AM radio, 107. This sound convincing bit is actually more complicated. Okay, why it is more complicated? FM radio is broadcast in stereo. Okay, normally sound signal can be classified in stereo and mono. Meaning is two channel information, two set of information it will become. That's why this is stereo. That's why the stereo jack having two lines, two wired lines. Already we have seen with our headset. Okay, in practice they generate three signals prior to applying this modulation, that is L plus R signal. Range is 50 to 15,000 hertz. 19 kilohertz pilot carrier L minus R, the centered on 38 kilohertz pilot carrier, which is suppressed. That ranges from 23 to 53 kilohertz. So the information signal actually has maximum modulating frequency of 53 kilohertz, requiring the reduction in modulation index of 1.0 to keep the total signal bandwidth 200 kilohertz. Once again, I will recall the FM concepts. In the FM, we are utilizing another one parameter unlike the AM, that is DF. We have the formula for DF. Using that maximum modulating frequency is used. This is the high modulation index, also high. These are the concepts belonging the FM modulation and FM radio. Next, measuring the performance of FM. How we will measure the performance? We have the parameters to analyze the performance of the FM, that is bandwidth, one parameter, efficiency, noise. These three parameters is used to measure the performance of the FM systems. Okay, bandwidth. Bandwidth is, we have the formula for bandwidth 2 equal to B plus 1 into Fm. B is the modulation index. Modulation index is maximum for Fm, already we know. What is the modulation index of Fm? 5. Okay, already we have seen in the previous part. Okay, B is the modulation index, Fm is maximum modulating frequency. Okay, FM radio has a significantly larger bandwidth than AM radio, but the FM radio band is also larger. The combination keeps the number of available channels about the same. The bandwidth of an FM signal has a more complicated dependency than in AM case. Recall, the bandwidth of AM signal depend only on maximum modulation frequency. In FM, both modulation index and the modulating frequency affect the bandwidth. As the information is made stronger, the bandwidth also grows. These are the things which is used using bandwidth. We can able to measure the parameter. Next parameter to analyzing the performance, that is efficiency. What is efficiency? Efficiency nothing but the signal power into the sideband as the fraction of the total. That is the average values nearby. FM signal, because of considerably sidebands produced, the efficiency is generally high. Recall that conventional AM is limited to about 33% efficiency. To prevent distortions in the receiver when modulation index was greater than 1, FM is no analogous problem because this is the frequency we are using. So the sideband structure is fairly complicated, but it is safe to say that the efficiency is generally improved by making the modulation index larger. But if you make the modulation index larger, so make the bandwidth larger, which has its disadvantages. As typical in engineering, compromise between the efficiency and performance is struck. The modulation index is normally limited to the value between 1 and 5, depending on the application. Okay, next parameter is noise. FM systems are far better at rejection noise than AM systems. So improved version of AM we can take like that, but technique is different and dB parameter also introduced in the FM. Noise is generally spread uniformly across the spectrum. Okay, so called white noise, meaning white spectrum. The amplitude of the white noise varies randomly at these frequencies. The change in amplitude and amplitude can actually modulate the signal and picked up in the AM system. As a result, AM systems are very sensitive to random noise. Example might be ignition system noise in your car. Special filters needed to installed to keep the interference of your car radio. FM systems are inherently immune to random noise. So here noise is very less comparing to AM. In order to noise to interfere, it would have the modulate frequency somehow, but noise is disturbed. But next thing is distributed uniformly in frequency and varies mostly in amplitude. As a result, there is a virtually no interference picked up in the FM receiver. FM is sometimes called static free, referring to its superior immunity to random noise. That's why the noise is very less comparatively. That's all about FM spectrum parameters. Okay, let us close this session. Next we will discuss about next topic in the next class. Thank you.